For many towns along the Maine coast, fishing is not only a way of life, it's a driver of the local economy. That's certainly true in Eastport, where generations have made a living farming salmon. Donovan Lynch takes us through how the city is changing with the tide.
An Irish folk band plays a jig as vendors fill the streets of Eastport Saturday for the 35th annual Salmon and Seafood Festival.
The living is provided from the sea. We have the lobster, we have scallops, we have mussels and clams.
All celebrating the maritime ties of this community, the easternmost city in the United States. But the story of Eastport has been one of boom and bust from the sea, stretching back for centuries.
Eastport's been a hub of maritime activity since the early 1800s.
Dean Pike is a longtime local and business owner. He says Eastport has meant different things to Maine and the United States over its long history. First, it served as an American export capital, second only in size to New York. Then, as the tides of industry shifted, so too did the city, building the largest sardine cannery in the world in the early 1900s.
There were many sardine carriers plying these waters. That has dried up.
But characteristic of this quirky border town, the sea wasn't done bearing gifts. Local Jeff Crane remembers what came next.
And then they brought in the salmon pens and do commercial farming of salmon. So there's so many people involved in it around here.
And the salmon industry arrived with full force as farms began to line the waters around the city starting in the 1980s. That industry has stayed and grown. Combined with the more recent surge of out-of-staters moving to town during COVID, this has all meant an uptick in jobs and tourism.
You know, we had some lean years there, and then COVID hit, and then it was even really lean, But then what happened was so many people moved here.
And now, on Saturday, a celebration of all that sustains Eastport, salmon, seafood, and people walking through these historic streets. Donovan Lynch, News Center, Maine.